Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the studio. We're going to try something new today, and hopefully all the technology works for us. I've got my phone here as an overhead camera because in a little bit I want to demonstrate something for you, but I wanted you to have a top view instead of my webcam. So rather than moving the webcam, I'm going to see if I can switch cameras. We'll see. Doesn't work well. It works, I know, when I do it for Creation Nation on Zoom, and we're on Zoom. I don't know if it'll work on Zoom, feeding to YouTube with a virtual background PowerPoint share. Oh, might just be too many balls in the air, but we're going to give it a shot here in just a little bit. So just in case you're wondering what's going on right here. All right, I got all my notes. I got lots of examples and so many things to talk to you about in this week 3 of November. Now, just a reminder, our month started on a Wednesday, which makes everything weird. Today is Monday. So when I'm talking about week 3, I'm talking Wednesday to next Tuesday. My Monday and Tuesday people, you guys are a week behind. We'll fix that in December, I promise. But right now, you're a week behind. So when I say this week, it's not really talking about you. You're going to need to go back and look at the other one. All the housekeeping stuff is all relevant to you. But just what we're doing in classes, you're a week behind. So you're in the next video, the one that we did last week, okay? All right. So let's go through what those kids are doing. Preschool classes, so our fundamentals classes. You guys are wrapping up your ink month. So we've got our Henry Matisse and Sumi ink and doodles and pattern month going on. Last week we read we read Where the Sidewalk Ends. And we looked at the art of Shel Silverstein and all his wonderful inky line illustrations. And we did our own illustrations and our own ink doodles we added to our portrait project that we're working on. This week, we're going to kind of flip and we're going to go to the art of Eric Carle, who is an illustrator. He wrote Brown Bear, which is the book we're going to read. And then we're going to look at his illustrations and we'll make some painted paper collages, just like the illustrations that we see in that book. And that will wrap up. That's the third lesson of the month. So my Thursday, Friday classes, this is your last class for the month of November. You will have an off day or 2 off days if you're the Thursday class before we see you back in December. My Monday, Tuesday classes, you meet this week, you don't meet next week, and then you'll come back that week after Thanksgiving to wrap up your November classes. At the end of this video, I even have a graphic for you. So flip to housekeeping if you want to see a calendar graphic that will help you visualize that. Okay. All right, 2nd and 3rd grade multimedia. Let's talk about you guys. I've got samples up here. So they have been doing ink portraits. They've used the Sumi ink, and then they've used Sharpie markers. Remember, we're using 3 types of ink. So this is a Sumi ink portrait, which is kind of an India ink, something really bold and graphic that we put on with a brush. And then last week in the background, they started putting all of these wonderful patterns using Sharpie markers. Just the ultra thin point Sharpie markers. We've got some great stuff happening here. Now, these ones need color. So this week, we'll be adding our 3rd and final layer of ink to them. And we're going to use water-soluble markers. Sorry, I'm looking for a place to put stuff. We're going to turn that water-soluble marker into a liquid form and add like beautiful clouds of color onto our pictures. Rather than actually coloring on the picture, we're going to do a print. And that's what I was going to show you here on my overhead camera. So give me just a minute and let me see if I can make this happen. First thing I have to do is stop the share. The next thing I have to do is turn on this video. And then I have to stop this video. And hopefully you are now seeing my overhead camera view. So on my table, I've got a couple pieces of paper. This one is to simulate what a portrait would be. I don't actually have a portrait example. The other one I'm just going to keep nearby in case I needed it. You always want to be prepared when you're demonstrating things on live video. Sorry, I'm going back to technology and making sure, oh, it is working, perfect. And then I've got my water-soluble markers right here. I'm going to try to stay away from greens just in case my green screen is still showing through. So I'll pull out a couple of these. Oops, running something. All right, so this is going to be the step that they'll do for their last part of their picture. They're going to start with their water-soluble markers in a flat, slick surface, which we're just going to use a Ziploc bag. And you're going to color clouds of color. It's pretty blue. We're going to talk to them about using the bold side of it, not the pointy side, right? Because it doesn't leave as much if I have it straight up and down. If I turn it on its side, I get the really great. Whoop. And we'll do another color. Let's do pink. Chances are we're going to have plenty of time in class for them to play with this technique. My hope would be that they can do a couple practice ones, because you only get one shot at printing this on your picture, right? Because you're not going to be able to erase it once it's on there. So we'll try to give them some opportunity to practice the technique. The yellow doesn't have much to it. Neither does the red. That's what happens when you pull out a big box of markers, you know? All right, so once we've laid down a good amount of ink, the next step is to hydrate all of this into a liquid form. Since it's water-soluble markers, we can do that with water. I've got a spray bottle of water, which is always everybody's favorite. I'm gonna try not to spray my electronic devices. Guard the laptop. Now it's in like these beautiful, like watery clouds. Now imagine that this picture here has a portrait drawn on it. They will take this and turn it upside down. And then put your hands on the back and do some really great rubbing. Got water on my back. And then when we lift it off, that's where we'll get the color. So their color will be in this kind of cotton candy cloud formation. It'll be on top of all of their ink doodles and on top of their portrait. So that's the plan for their last step. Again, we'll have lots of time for them to play with this technique. And then when they're comfortable with it and they have a plan, they'll do their final on their portrait. Our goal this week for our all of our classes is to finish the artwork. So if we can get this done, we can get their artist statement written, we can get it matted and sent home. That's our goal. If that can't happen, then that's fine. We'll live. We've still got one more class. But for that fourth class, we're hoping to be able to do like just stations and kind of a Friendsgiving celebration. So our goal is to finish this week. But don't be concerned if they don't come home. I promise we still have time. All right, I'm going to go back to my previous scheduled. It's not seamless, I'll tell you that, but it worked. That's what matters. Not that. Fabulous. I'm going to go back to the YouTube really quick and just make sure that all is well. It looks like it is. Let's talk about the bigger kids. So once we get past our once we get past our K1s and our second, thirds, we move on to our fourth and fifth and our homeschool classes, and they are doing these mushroom worlds. Brought one example because it's really all I could find in the copy. Notice. We got a beautiful little like illustrative mushroom world. You can see this artist did a great job on stippling. Those are the dots that you see that add dimension and value. They also have some really wonderful line details. on under the underside of the mushroom, and that's like a cross hatching. On the border, you can see this artist was using the different widths of microns, and I brought some microns to show you. So these are actually different markers, and each one has a different line weight. So if you have your kiddos come home and they talk about these pens, I wanted to show you kind of what they look like. Our favorite way to buy them is in like a multi-set, and they come in different widths. So this is how we store ours, because we have obviously many sets. But for instance, this right here is an 08, 08, right after the word micron. And so the width on it is, that's about as fat as at least the set that we have goes. Comparably, this one here says it's an 01. And you can see this one is much, much smaller. So if we were to compare the two, between the two pens, we've got an 08 on the fatter one and then an 01 on the smaller one. The smallest that we have is an 005, which is crazy, crazy tiny, but it helps with some of the super detailed work. So the kids, if they enjoy these, the reason I showed them to you, they make really great gifts. They're an archival ink pen. Like I said, this is a Micron brand. It's like when somebody says Kleenex and they mean any archival ink pen. It comes in lots of different widths. We usually stick towards the actual Micron branding. But you read the reviews on Amazon, there are plenty of off brands that are just. So these drawings should be done, or very, very, very close to done, by the time we get to week 3. That's why we worked on a smaller scale. This week, we're going to add the color to them. So these are the frames that we have for them. They're smaller this year because we made the drawing smaller so that we could finish them. So they've got, they'll fit in the frame. We've even got a mat that can go with them if they want to use the mat. The kids are going to be adding the ink to the glass. So this step uses alcohol inks. So this is an example of an alcohol ink. Unlike our markers that our K1s and our second thirds use, this is not a water soluble ink. In order to dilute it, we actually add isopropyl alcohol to it. It is highly, highly concentrated, super pigmented. It also stains your fingers, almost like Easter egg dye does, right? Like, so it'll stain your clothes. It's good stuff though. Lots of great color. So they will drop those inks onto the glass. So we actually get into our frame. We take the glass out, and they drop the inks onto the glass. We hydrate it, similar to how our kindergartners and our first graders and our second graders and our third graders used water to spray it. Only instead of spraying, we just use droppers. We hydrate it up even more and get it all to run together with isopropyl alcohol. And then to dry it really, really quickly, we grab a lighter and we set it afire. That burns off all of the alcohol and just leaves the dry pigment on the glass. The result, I was going to do that on camera, you guys, but I just didn't feel comfortable doing that in my office because we're kind of close quarters here, small, lots of green screen curtains and flammable things. I was like, no, it's okay. There's a video. You can go to our Facebook page and do a quick search. There's other live videos where we demonstrated it. But here's an example of one from previous years. So you can see the swirly colored ink on the glass. And the drawing is separate. So this is the drawing. And then this is the glass, right? So when you add the drawing to it, like this is just a white piece of paper. That's how you get the color on your picture. So that'll be the step that the 4th and 5th graders and the homeschoolers do in their 3rd week of November classes, is to get the ink colored on the glass and get everything all put together, to get their artist statement written so that they are finished with their picture. It's an exciting process. Super fun to do that. And at the end, then they have a really great frame, and you can always switch out the artwork in it and just keep the colored part on top. Kids have really enjoyed drawing Mushroom World. My middle school, I got to go to my slideshow. Sorry, it resets. There you go. My middle school, high school. So 6th, 7th, and 8th through 12th kiddos. are doing an ink and fire project as well. So they have the same frames. They have the same alcohol ink lighted on fire step that needs to be done this week, but their subject is different. So what they're making their art about is different. It's not mushroom worlds. It's these beautiful like animal patterned Zentangles. So a lot of them have done a very like geometric animal outline, and then they are filling each section with some very, very detailed patterns. And that's where those micron pens are just invaluable, because you got to get super detailed on some of these. We have some good stuff. So they should finish their artwork in their 3rd week as well. If they don't, we still have a 4th week to do it. So low stress here, but our goal is to kind of get it done. The 4th week of the classes for our multimedia and our drawing students this month, when again we'll look at the calendar, is going to be stations. We'll do some really great ink stations so that everybody can explore the different things. You can go back to that Sumi ink and continue to play with it. We can do some, micron drawing, some more Zentangle drawing. I've got Trinky Dinks. We can make some fun like friendship charms and Trinky Dink charms, and I've got temporary tattoos and good stuff. Let's talk creative explorations. So this is creative explorations only meet on Wednesdays and Fridays. And so their 3rd week is this week, everybody's, and this is your last class of the month of November for creative explorations. You will not have class next week. My Wednesday people actually have 2 weeks off because there are 5 Wednesdays in the month of November. So you will have 2 weeks off and then come back for December. My Friday people, there's only 4 Fridays, so you'll just miss next week, which is Black Friday, and then you'll be back on December 1st for your classes. Again, I've got a calendar graphic in housekeeping, so you make sure that you, like if you're a visual person, make sure you watch housekeeping so you can see that. Sound good? Otherwise, everything's been going really well in our creative explorations class. The sunflower still life has been my favorite to see. I don't know if it's the kids' favorite, but I think it's super fun to see their representation of still life of Van Gogh sunflowers. So the month of December, we'll explore watercolor paints, just like our multimedia kids, and we'll have fun holiday stations as well. Drawing classes. I gotta switch gears, guys. Me switch. My pile of drawing stuff is over here. Drawing 101. Last week, we drew trees from photographic reference, and they used colored pencils to do it. We also did a warm-up with feathers, so a lot of observational drawing as well as just exploring mark making and getting different patterns and marks that we can make. That we're going back to our Campbell soup can. Remember, we did this as a arrival warm-up activity in week 1, and the kids loved it. They wanted to spend more time on it, which was great because I planned it already for a week 3 lesson. So we've got some examples of the art of Andy Warhol, which is a pop art artist, and he did Campbell soup art. So there's some examples and some information on art history and on Andy Warhol's exhibits. They're going to be doing more Campbell soup drawings from reference, from life. But instead of drawing on paper, we're going to be drawing on a special printing foam. So normally we don't see this stuff until multimedia classes in February when we do printmaking month. But this is a foam. It is similar to, if you like can imagine like a meat tray that's made of foam, right? That you would buy meat on. That's kind of what this feels like. If you put a pencil on it and push, it makes an indentation. And so it's a great printing surface. So they will take their drawing of a soup can. We've already got soup can shapes cut out for them. And they will draw their Campbell soup here. And then we can print it for them. So rather than drawing on paper, we're going to draw on the foam and then print their drawings in their journal. The reason we do that, one, it's just a fun way to use your drawing skills, but also because Andy Warhol was known for his printing. He did a lot of silk screenings and his repetitive, like one print after another. He wanted to be a machine is one of his quotes. So even though the soup drawings were not prints, they were actual paintings, but later on they were a lot of silk screens. Do a little print drawing for them. I think it'll be a fun one. The Drawing 102 Advanced Realistic students Now I have week 1 stuff to show you because I'm in Liberty and the drawing realistic class for 102 meets on Tuesdays. So they actually haven't had their week 2 lesson yet. Week 2's lesson was the leaves, where they actually looked at observation still life leaves and did them with chalk pastels. Week 1's lesson was the landscape. And so I've got some beautiful, oh, hang on, let me turn off my green screen. Hang on, let me figure out how to turn off my green screen. Under video background. Okay, that way you can see this. Because there's gonna be a lot of green because it's a landscape. Look at that. So these were done in colored pencil. They were done from photo reference. A lot of them felt like they would like more time with it, that they didn't get to get as even like you have a lot of white areas, but also the layering of the pencils. Like this is an area that's been layered and burnished, but then this one you can see a lot of paper through. So this will be a lesson that they can revisit and continue to work on during those wild card weeks. All right, let me go back to my, because I like my PowerPoint. For one, it helps me to find my place. Hopefully it helps you guys. If you're flipping through the video, it helps you find what you want to look at as well. So these are the week 1 lessons because it's a Tuesday class. And so here in Liberty, they're a week behind. If you are a Thursday, Wednesday, Friday class, you're in week 3. So week 3's lesson for our Drawing 102 Advanced Realistic is a cornucopia drawing. This class is one that we always draw from photograph, we draw from life, and we draw from imagination. So the photograph one was the landscape. The life one is the leaves, right? Life means we have an object right in front of us. And then the imagination one this month is our cornucopia. So we're going to imagine what a cornucopia basket looks like, and we're going to fill it with images from our brain. And we'll fill it with fruits and vegetables or any kind of foods we want. So I think it's a fun Thanksgiving lesson. All right, let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you about that. No. Drawing 102, comic and cartoon. Last week was all about eyes. And so I brought some examples of some of the eye lessons from Liberty. I think maybe it goes this way. I don't know. The paper is upside down, but I think it goes this way. So you can see they practice drawing a library of eyes, playing with what eyes they like to use in their artwork. The goal would be that you have your own mental library that you can draw from when you're creating characters, or an actual library. If you don't want to remember all of them, you have a reference book. This week, they will do something very, very similar, but this time with noses and mouth, which Miss Grace always tells me noses for cartoons are really easy, but so they'll play with that and draw all sorts of noses and mouths, and that will pretty much wrap up our facial feature time, because that's been our focus the whole month. Oh, wait, I got to talk more about drawing classes. I forgot 103s. Okay, so drawing 103, comic and cartoon, their project or their challenge this month was meant to create an entire composition for a comic style that uses a cityscape. So a city scene, a city street, city buildings. And the goal was that they were using perspective, which this is an amazing application of 2-point perspective. Here's another great example of that. So most of them have their pencil drawings sketched out, and then our next step's going to be to get that inking done. Again, our goal is to get inking and coloring done this week. So these guys this is a Tuesday class. So they're 2 weeks. They still have 2 weeks to finish. If you're in a Thursday class for drawing 103, then you would have this, but then you would have the inking done, and this week you'd be ready for color. My drawing 103 in Liberty for realistic, they are doing these candy bar still lifes. So they have a selection of candy. They had to create their own composition and take a photograph to use it. Some of them have singular candy bars that they're working from. Some of them have, I love this one. This is a really interesting composition. Those are gummy bears. So whatever they wanted to create as a composition with the candy, they could, and then they've been working on drawing that composition. Again, we're only 1 week in. Well, I mean, we're 2 weeks in Liberty. But the first week was really just photographs, and now we're doing all the drawing part. Notice the scale for both of the classes, the 103 classes, are much smaller. Rather than working on an 8x10 piece of paper, they're working on something that will go in a smaller mat. These are their mat options that I have for them for this time. So they'll finish their picture, and the mats that it goes in will be, because it's November. Just we have so many makeups and so many absences. We want to make sure that people can get finished. That's why those classes are working smaller. They'll probably continue to work smaller in December. I don't know. I usually survey the instructors and then get the feel for the class and what they want, what they think is needed, and then we'll go from there. But the feedback I've gotten so far is that the 103 classes for these 2 months, the smaller scale is really appreciated so that they can finish. Okay. All right. Let's talk about holidays. Yeah. All right. I'm going to move things on my floor. I can slide. Whoops, not that way. This way. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Okay. So the holiday schedule. Here you go. Ready? For the month of November, and then we'll do December. Oh, I got to move over even further. All right. So here is our calendar for the month of November for preschool classes. I'm going to move this guy. So he's not in my way. So you can see we've got preschool classes each meet 3 times a month. So you see the Monday classes, right, are red, Tuesday classes are orange, Thursday classes are yellow, and the Friday classes are green. Any place that there is a star, that is when your class is meeting. Notice we are closed the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. That whole time, there are no classes. Our studios are like doors locked, closed, lights off. We will come check our buildings just to make sure nothing like pipes don't break, or I mean, who knows. So, but other than that, we won't be here. We'll still be checking emails, probably on Wednesday and Sunday, but the rest of the weekend we'll take it off. I'll put an away message on our emails. There are no makeups on the 22nd for my people, just so you know. All right, so you can see my Tuesday, Thursday people. This is our week right here that we're in. This is your last class for November. You'll have Thanksgiving off, and then you'll have, for Thursday people, you'll have 30th off. For Friday people, we actually start December classes right here. Notice Monday and Tuesday preschool classes. You guys do not have class next week, so we're going to take that week off. The 20th and the 21st will come back and finish your classes the 27th and the 28th in November. Creative explorations, only on Wednesday and Thursday. We only have 4 of those classes, and so they only meet those 2 days. Makes it really easy to meet 3 times a month, and so this is what your schedule looks like. Again, this is your week, and you wrap up your curriculum this month. Wednesday people, you will have the 22nd and the 29th off, and then we'll see you guys on December 6th for your first December class. Friday people, you'll have the 24th off, which is Black Friday, and then we'll see you on December 1st. So you don't have 2 weeks off, you just have the 1. Drawing and multimedia students, you guys are a 4-time-a-month class. So this is what your schedule looks like. Multimedia and drawing are Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. You'll notice that the week of Thanksgiving, Monday and Tuesday classes still meet, but Thursday classes obviously do not. And everybody still has class the week after Thanksgiving. This week after Thanksgiving, the 27th, 28th, 29th, that's when we talk about, like, let's do something fun. Let's do Friendsgiving. So that's what that is. It's your own. Just station. It is not bring a friend week. Please no, it is not bring a friend week. We are too big for that. So we decided we're going to celebrate friendship, but we're going to celebrate with people that are already in our classes. We cannot expand the rosters to include friends outside of our studios anymore. Preschool classes for December. So we're switching gears. We're looking at the month of December. This is what it looks like. Notice Christmas is on a Monday. If you are in a preschool class, all of your classes wrap up before the end of the end of before Christmas. So I don't know why Friday's not on there. Friday should be 1, 8, 16. I miss those stars. That's what happens when I count. So if you're in a Friday class, imagine there's a star on a 1, a star. I was pointing with my mouse, but I don't think you can see it. A star on a 1, a star on an 8. I would not make a good weather. Star on a 15. Creative explorations. This is your schedule. Notice that you also wrap up before Christmas. That's the value of a 3-time-a-month class. And lastly, our multimedia and our drawing kits. Now you're a 4-time-a-month class, so you are challenging. So let's explain what's going to happen. Everybody in our multimedia and drawing classes will have 3 classes before Christmas. Those will be the 3 classes that we work to get our watercolor project done in, work to get our drawing lessons done in, and then that 4th class happens after Christmas. And that's the purple ones. Those are different. They're going to be totally different. They aren't even going to be at your class time. Okay. That's why they're purple. I figured that was a good way to note those. Okay. What we're going to do to get you your 4th class is we're going to do an open studio style class. We will do the art and the PJs and the hot cocoa, fun holiday super chill stations. They're going to happen the 26th, 27th, and 28th. They're going to happen during the daytime. We've got big blocks of time marked off. And you're gonna like sign up for a time to come in. We're not gonna tell you when your class is. You look at your schedule and you're gonna tell us, hey, I'd love to come Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Okay, and so we'll have a sign up genius or an equivalent thing. Maybe it'll be a Google sheet. I don't know, but something that you'll actually sign up for your time, so that way you can come in and have that studio time that you paid for with your tuition. But it won't be projects. I mean, unless they didn't finish their project, for sure we'll make sure that we have it. You can do it, but most of our students will finish their watercolor project in 3 weeks. So that way that week of Christmas and New Year's will be a fun one. If you are traveling for that week between Christmas and New Year's and you can't make it to the 26th, 27th, and 28th, it's fine. We have a lot of absences that week, which is why we do it this way. So you won't have anything to make up because hopefully your project is done. But if you are around, we'd love to have you come and hang out with us and enjoy. That is why we are not doing winter break camps this year, is because what happened to my light? Hang on. I must have bumped it. That's why we're not doing winter break camps this year, is because we're going to put these art and PJ and hot cocoa open studios just for our enrolled students during the day on these days. Okay. We'll talk more about that like a lot in all of these videos. Okay. Multimedia and drawing students, you guys, like we will talk about this a lot. And when we get into December, probably that first week of December is when we'll have the sign up sheet out for those. All right, let's go through some housekeeping stuff. Move over a little bit. Housekeeping stuff. So our 2024 registration, that's our spring semester. Remember, fall semester, September through December. Spring semester, January through May. Those registration links were all sent out last week. Now, they were sent out slowly because I have to send, it's a lot of work. I have to send each individual link, generate each individual link, and then send it out to each of you. So some people maybe have gotten their links on Tuesday. Some people may not have gotten their links until Friday, but I did get them all sent out. If you don't see it, check your spam or your promotions folder, because I'm emailing a group. I'm emailing your entire class. Your Gmail or your Yahoo or something might read it as spam or promotion. So check there. And also the subject line is, quote, spring semester enrollment early access link. That'll give you something to search if you need to use the search bar in your inbox. But those were all sent out. Now you only got the link for the class that you are currently enrolled in. So if you're currently in Drawing 101 on Tuesday nights, then that's the link you got. If you need a different one, you can send me a message and I can look for it and see if the class you want to switch to isn't full, and I'll send you that link. If it is full, we'll have to wait. I already have a list of people who are like signed up for their multimedia class, but they'd rather do comic drawing. That's probably the most common one I have. I already have a list started, and I figured I'd give everybody till the 29th. That's when all of your early access links are no longer active. And that gives me a day before everything goes public. And at that point, for that one day on 11/30, I'll go through that list of people. And if there's a spot, I'll transfer your enrollment. So if you're in that boat, just let me know so that I can get you added to that list. I've had some people message me, hey, I got this link for one kid, but I can't find the other kid. It's in a totally separate email. So you have to go find the other email that is sent. Okay. Each like, or I got it for their drawing class, but not for their multimedia class. It's in a different email. So because each link was sent to each class roster. So just go there and let me know if you don't see it. I can help you out. Okay. I think it's really, really important for everyone to note, if you do nothing, you do not if you don't click any link, you don't make a registration, you do not have a class in January. Nothing rolls over. You have to re-enroll. Everybody re-enrolls. The links go public on December 1st. We're just giving you a chance to grab it before that. The other thing that is happening is there's a studio club option, a semester option, or I think it's called multi-session in Sawyer, that is a payment option, like a payment plan. So you can put $100 down now and then have everything hit the account on January 1st instead of paying for the full semester. Okay. If money is an issue, I need you to reach out to me. You're like, I can't pay the tuition right now. Reach out to me. Okay. I'll start a list and we'll figure out an option. Okay. I don't want anyone to lose their spot in class. There was one more thing I was going to tell you. I had people ask about the t-shirt promo. We will have a t-shirt promo. Everyone who does early access is eligible for it. Everyone who does early access and a payment plan still eligible for it. All that stuff. Okay. There was something else I was going to tell you guys, and now I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's not in my notes, but it like popped into my brain for a second. Remember? Oh, I know. See, it came back. We've had some people say, why did the prices go up? And I just want to make it super clear to everybody, the prices did not go up. It looks like the prices went up because your spring semester amount is higher than the fall semester, but that's just because it's longer. So the fall semester is 4 months, September, October, November, December, and the spring semester is 5 months, January, February, March, April, May. So prices are the same. It's a month longer. The last couple notes, these will be fast. I know I've kept you a long time. Makeup policies. This is the time of year where all of the band concerts and the orchestra concerts and the school play and the music program for Christmas and all the things, right? The holiday nights at the elementary schools or the skating party, or I know it is so busy, you guys. So if you miss an art class, that's why we have the makeup policy. That's why we have it there, is because I know that that's life. Please use it. You don't have to apologize to me. You don't know, it's life. I get it. Okay. So for whatever reason you miss your class, that's what it's there for. Please take advantage of it. Please sign up and come in and do the makeup lessons so that we can get you your studio time and get the projects done for you. Okay. And then the last little note, and hopefully we don't have to use this until, I don't know, maybe 8 more weeks would be great. But the inclement weather policy, we have some new families in the studio, and it's good for a reminder for everybody anyway, is that if we have winter weather, snow, ice, stuff like that, we do not follow the school closings. So we will make our own determination, because I don't have to worry about buses. So I will make my own determination. And we will communicate to you if we close it. I used to say we've never closed, and then COVID happened, and then we did. But we very, 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 very rarely close. We're usually open. So the inclement weather policy is check Twitter first. It'll be the first place that we post. It's just the fastest way for me to post something. I also post in the private Facebook group. that is just for our enrolled families. And I will usually post on Instagram stories. And then I will send an email out to the roster of kids who are like enrolled for that class. So you'll get, if you're enrolled that night, you would get it. But again, when I send an email to an entire roster, sometimes it gets marked as spam and promotion. And so it may not come to your inbox. So always want to check. You can call the studio, but as you know, we don't always answer the phone. So the places to look are going to be social media. Okay. If some of us can get to the studio, we'll update the voicemail to say we are open tonight or we are closed tonight. But not always. If you see nothing, we're probably here. When in doubt, you can send me an email or a Facebook message. All right. That's everything. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week, and I will do a video on Monday for Thanksgiving, and we'll talk through and show examples of what we have going on. We'll go over those schedules again. So I won't say happy Thanksgiving right now because I'll get to talk to you again, but hope you have a great third week of November, and I will chat with you soon.